over a very cloudy downtown Memphis. Again, a cloudy day, just dumping rain all across our area. If you've been out on the roads, chances are you probably came across some storms. Just be sure to take extra time, drive slowly, and be very safe out there. Best to stay indoors if you can. Thank you for joining us live on 24+. I'm Pepper Baker. Today is a weather impact alert day. We are in the thick of what weather experts are calling a generational storm, an explosive event, and we still have a couple more days to go. City and county crews are hard at work, working around the clock, assisting people all across the Mid-South as we speak. And President Donald Trump did approve Governor Bill Lee's request to declare a state of emergency for Tennessee. The Tennessee Emergency Management Agency, also known as TEMA, says emergency operations in Nashville remain at a level 3. The National Weather Service expects severe weather to continue through this afternoon, and Governor Lee surveyed storm damage in McNairy County, which was significantly impacted by Wednesday's storms. Here's what he said.
Then we'll open it up for questions. Thank you for coming out. We're here obviously at the Red Cross shelter here that's been set up in the Selmer Community Center. The community that has been hard hit and devastated. The people of this county, once again, this has happened before. There's been a tornado here just a couple years ago, but once again, they're facing what's really just heartbreaking circumstance out there. We've toured. We spent a little time earlier looking at the storm damages and seeing the folks that are out there beginning the cleanup process. And there are a couple things I'll say about it. And I have with me today for potential questions Patrick Sheehan, our TEMA director, is here. Department of Safety Commissioner, Congressman Kustoff, David Kustoff is here. County Mayor, City Mayor, Colonel Perry at the Highway Patrol. So it's a representation of what's happening out there on the ground, which is a consolidated effort by local law enforcement, by local emergency management, the state, Highway Patrol, all coming together to make sure that the people in this community are seen and that they're being taken care of. But I'll tell you what's really encouraging is what you see going on behind us. Volunteers, nonprofits, churches, the people in this community that come together. In the worst of times, this is when the best of Tennessee shows up. And it's happening right here in McNairy County and frankly all across the state. There have been multiple lives lost across the state, widespread flooding, multiple tornadoes throughout the night and tornado warnings throughout the day today. And one thing that's important to note is it isn't over. There's continued heavy rain expected with potential tornadoes over the next day or two. And but today, right now in this community, it's heartbreaking. And it's hopeful because of what we see as Tennesseans coming around to take care of the folks here who have lost their homes, lost their loved ones, lost their livelihoods, and yet the process of restoring hope has already begun.
Now, those severe storms overnight were very deadly. As of now, Tennessee leaders confirmed several deaths so far, one in Obion County, one in McNairy County. Those deaths were confirmed by TEMA. The Fayette County Sheriff's Office also confirmed 2 deaths. And as we gather more reports and information, of course, we will pass along those details to you. Unfortunately, that number is expected to rise. And this is here, what you're looking at on your screen right now. This is in the town of Selmer down in McNairy County, where several homes and businesses were hit. Police say emergency crews are still searching for people. Tennessee emergency management crews have been in Selmer assessing the damage all day, and we're seeing places just like this all across the Mid-South, unfortunately. And now meteorologist Kit Thomas joins me, who has been providing outstanding severe weather coverage. You and Trevor Burchett, got to give a shout out to him as well. So yesterday it seems like it was more about the tornado warnings. Today it seems like flooding and heavy rain. More tornadoes expected, or where are you kind of gauging all of this?
Yeah, so we are still under a new tornado watch as well, so we've got to consider that. But today we are now switching more into the flooding threat. Now, of course, we saw damage damage all over the Mid-South. ABC's Ginger Z is in Lake City, Arkansas, a place where we had an immense tornado roll through that area. She's getting us a better look at all the damage there.
Trevor, I was watching you all night, like so many people were, and I remember you showing that debris ball on the radar here in Lake City, and now we see the results. The cars flipped here, that tree toppled, and the power lines wrapped around it. I'm going to walk you through what was a garage and then a home here in Lake City, which one wall is still standing, but when you get to the other side of the home, it's clear how quickly this tornado was able to take people's lives and flip them upside down. The rest of the home is destroyed. So we're going to be here in Lake City covering the tornado part of this, but obviously the flash flood threat that you are going to be busy with through the weekend. There's a lot to get to, and I know you've got everybody covered. You did such a fantastic job. Thank you so much, Trevor, and we'll have this part of the story from here in Lake City.
And with all that heavy rainfall comes the threat of flooding. And while the people of West Memphis are no stranger to experiencing heavy rain, some residents say they're not used to it all at once. We are going to have our ABC 24 Desmond Nugent there. He's just off of I-55 and Martin Luther King Boulevard. But I'm going to toss it first over to meteorologist Kit Thomas, who can give us a full look at what's happening right now outside. Kit.
Yeah, thank you, Pepper. Of course, temperatures are pretty cool here in Memphis. We're at 60 degrees right now. Very cool. We are behind the cold front. Go figure. It's cold temperatures. Of course, 60 in Memphis, 60 in Bolivar, 59 up towards Dyersburg. Ahead of the front, though, Holly Springs at 76. 84 in Oxford, 66 in Corinth. So that is the very clear dividing line of where the cool air and warm, moist air is across our area. When we say moist air, we're talking about dew points in the 60s across this area, though behind the front, we have some elevated humidity as well. The higher dew points up that direction, too. Still pretty warm. Here we can see it on those winds. We've got sort of a northeasterly breeze across our northern viewing area, straight out of the south across our southern viewing area there. So that is all of the warm air that is going to continue to supply these showers and thunderstorms with humidity and with a ton of energy and instability over the next several hours. Today we have a level 3 threat here. We'll go ahead and move the cart out of here for the moment, as we're just sort of talking about the forecast side of things. We're looking at the chance for severe weather today, a level 3 threat across our area. The primary threat is going to be the significant tornado threat. So we've got that on that sort of middle part of the scale there for where we could see those tornadoes. Notice Memphis is still in that tornado risk, but it's more towards the areas that have already been very exhausted by tornadoes just last night. We also have a severe hail threat, significant hail up to 2 inches possible, and severe winds. Though we're not looking at a significant wind threat, we still have the widespread probability of those storms there. We do have a tornado watch across our area, and just out towards our eastern viewing area there, we've got a severe thunderstorm warning. We'll examine that in a moment. But anywhere from Lee and Phillips County through northern Mississippi, and then from Crittenden County, Arkansas, through Shelby County, Haywood, Fayette, Hardeman, and McNairy County. Once again, we've got that tornado watch present. This tornado watch is for similar areas that were affected just last night. Of course, we were here to the wee hours of the morning as those storms were rolling through. And so, of course, whenever we have these kinds of events, they can sometimes be quite prolonged. So we're going to be here with you until 10 p.m. when that tornado watch is canceled. A few tornadoes, a couple could be quite intense. Wind gusts up to 70 miles per hour with 1.5-inch diameter hail with some of those thunderstorms. Here's a breakdown of those events. We're looking at a medium threat for the 3 major parts of severe weather forecasting, but then the flooding rain, all the way up to very high on the scale. We rarely see this kind of flooding that we're expecting over the next few days. So let me pop over here on radar. We'll pull the cart back in so we can examine some of these storms here. Of course, these storms starting to roll through areas that are already severe weather fatigued into Alcorn County. This is Hardeman County and McNairy County. Severe thunderstorm warning for these areas right now. I'll get that information on your screen so you can follow along. Chester, Hardeman, and McNairy County. Of course, Chester just technically outside of our viewing area, but this is for 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts and quarter-inch hail. So that's the baseline severe threat. It's still possible to see some severe impacts from this, but it's going to be much more localized. We also have some heavier rainfall just moving through western or eastern parts of Shelby County, moving towards Collierville. Collierville just had some pretty heavy rain recently. And then down past Senatobia around the Sardis Lake area. Keeping an eye on this thunderstorm here, as we've seen some, it's got that shape to it. We've been talking about this the last couple of days of maybe some rotation showing up on that storm. So I'm going to keep an eye on that in case we have a tornado warning issued for that. So if you're in Holly Springs, it looks like we've got a new severe thunderstorm warning. So right as we were examining that storm, the National Weather Service is also keeping their eyes on this. So I'll pop up the radar so we can see that storm once again and get that info for you here. As we've got a severe thunderstorm warning for for severe winds and for large hail. It does not have tornado possible tag, so that's a good sign. Shows us we're not seeing quite as significant of a rotation threat. Sometimes the hail can mess with that velocity product we were looking at. So we'll keep a close eye on this. Of course, if you are downstream of this storm, it's moving around 50 miles per hour. So we'll put a track on that, see when it will be arriving to the Holly Springs area here within the next little bit. So 50-mile-per-hour track on this storm as it's just updating there. So I'll redraw here through the length of this warning. I'm going to give one more cross section here so we can get the full span of that warning. So Aiken, it's rolling in right now. You probably already hear the thunder and hear the heavy rain coming down. Harmontown, we're looking at 422 for the arrival of some of these winds and impacts. Bethlehem, it's going to be a little downstream, so around 445 for you. Chulahoma around 425. Abbeville around 430. Holly Springs, you're looking around 440 for your time of arrival, and eventually to the Ashland area just before 5 p.m. We'll have more details on that storm as we have them. Of course, we do have several areas under flash flood warnings, areas shaded in blue here. So we've seen some very heavy rain from Lauderdale County all the way into DeSoto County. This is a considerable threat. A baseline flash flood warning here, an elevated flash flood warning here along the Mississippi River, where we've seen an incredible amount of rainfall through the day today. And we just had another round roll through the Memphis area. So let's look forward here. Over the next several hours today, we're still going to have thunderstorms rolling through, possibly severe storms. We've got that kidney bean shape. And those storms will cross over the Mississippi, bringing very heavy rainfall. And we'll have a little bit of a break across Mississippi overnight, but heavy rain across our northern viewing area. Wraps up around 3 a.m. for a little bit. We'll have a break into tomorrow afternoon. Then as we go into tomorrow evening, we'll start to see more of that heavy rain coming through, and that is going to be a multi-day event. So we wrap things up here. Here's a look at some of the heavy rainfall we're looking at over the next few days. We're going to see anywhere from 6 to 12 inches of rainfall across the area. So you can get a sense of the next 7 days. We'll check your 7-day forecast here. Temperatures are going to be very warm on Friday, cooling down by Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. It's going to be a much cooler week next week with quieter weather.
Just got to get through the rest of this severe weather. Well, Crittenden County, Arkansas is included in that tornado watch that Kit just said there, and that's where we will find ABC 24's Desmond Nugent, who is just off of Highway I-55 and Martin Luther King Jr. Boulevard. Desmond, how are people in the area getting ready for flooding over the next few days? Because we know that's going to be the big problem here.
Pepper, this is exactly what a lot of people here in West Memphis are concerned about. Lots of water, which is causing flooding, not just throughout neighborhoods, not just throughout gas stations, but just all throughout the area. I'm just off of I-55 Highway and MLK Boulevard, and as you can see, the water right now is just below my ankles. I'm a little over 6'1", so that's probably a couple of inches of water right there. I did speak with the City of West Memphis Office of Emergency Manager, and he says that they're expecting about 8 to 10 inches of rain over the next couple of days. He does want to warn people, if you have to get out in this weather, to please be smart when you're driving. Again, there's a lot of water here. There's a lot of flooding that we've seen throughout the day. People have tried their best to get through here. We've even saw a car that was stuck here for a few minutes, but again, the city of West Memphis Office Emergency Manager tells me that, again, please turn around, don't drown. Live in West Memphis, I'm Desmond Nugent.
Takes a few inches for your car to get swept away. Desmond, thank you. And in Arkansas, Governor Sarah Huckabee Sanders also declared a state of emergency for the state. And this action in particular allows emergency response vehicles to bypass way station facilities. So as of right now, the state of emergency will stay in effect until April 16th. All right, so take a look at your screen right now. This is an RDOT camera capturing a tornado in real time. This was yesterday. Meteorologist Trevor Burchett actually brought this to you live in real time Wednesday evening. We paused it so you can see it better. Right when the lightning strikes, right on your side of your screen, you can see just the massive width of that tornado. He was able to identify the tornado before it even approached the highway and then track its path. Just absolutely magnificent picture right there of what Mother Nature can do. Now, flash floods have swept the Mid-South, causing traffic and cars to be stuck in certain areas. ABC 24's Lauren Turman is out right now looking at flash flooding. And Lauren, what are you seeing?
Hey, Pepper, yes, we're out here in Orange Mound. We're at the intersection of Josephine Street and Waverly Avenue. There's a couple of really interesting things I want to show you, but before I get to that, I want to let you know that there has been a lot of extreme flooding. Of course, you and Kit have been discussing that and going back to a few other people. We've seen a lot of cars like this one right here. It went through some flooding and had to actually pull over to the side of the road to try to check things out. But you can see right here, there's an overflow that's coming from the sewer flooding out completely. A lot of that flooding has actually caused this flooding over here, which is underneath of the bridge. We saw a car that came through and got stopped in all of that and recently got towed out of here, but it's a couple of feet deep. So just a couple of instances that we're just seeing in this area of how extreme this flooding is getting. You just mentioned a couple of minutes ago, it only takes a little bit to completely sweep the car away. So again, if you don't have to drive, please don't go out there and do that. But we've seen a lot of cars stopped, a lot of cars in puddles and floods and things like that. Creeks have been overflowing and streams, as we know. So a lot of really dangerous elements and situations. Again, this bridge is, this water right here, it has just a couple of feet in it. It's enough to completely stop a car. And we've seen a lot of them have to reroute as they've tried to come through here as well. So a lot of dangerous conditions out here. Of course, we know City of Germantown has also recently put out about the flooding and the impacts that has, and the flood advisory came out just about 2 hours ago. So lots that we are monitoring out here, and we will stay on that as we move to different locations to see that throughout this evening. But for now, live in Orange Mound, I'm Lauren Turman.
It's good to see that tape there, Lauren, because that maybe will help people turn around and not try to chance it and go through. So we're going to take you back to Arkansas. This is from yesterday. Again, tornadoes like this one in Lake City destroyed homes and took people's lives. People woke up this morning to survey the damage. We did see that the massive tornado that really swept through Lake City. We had gotten reports of a few injuries, and even a high school roof was torn off in the area. So yes, one of the hardest hit areas was Lake City. We will have a crew out there later on that we will go live from. But as you can see, just absolute massive destruction. People's homes, cars, just totally uprooted. Some flipped upside down. Just footage like this almost leaves you speechless, because you just know that people's entire lives are just uprooted when these tornadoes come down. All right, now you're taking a live look at the roads around North Mississippi, where severe storms also struck the state. Governor Tate Reeves also declared a state of emergency for the state of Mississippi. So all 3 states in the Mid-South are now under a state of emergency. In a tweet, he named the counties who were hit significantly by the storms. Reeves also stated Mississippi Emergency Management has crews on the ground to help first responders. Now, we are going to continue our severe weather coverage in Senatobia, Mississippi. The state had several tornado warnings overnight. Again, many homes and businesses were damaged. Now, so far, no deaths were reported. City leaders said they tried to activate the sirens, but they did not work because of possible weather-related interference. But crews are currently working to repair the sirens. And we definitely know how important those sirens can be for early heads up notice. Every second counts. Several tornadoes ripped through Fayette County, where 2 weather-related deaths were reported. ABC 24's Alicia Renee is there now. Alicia, what devastation are you seeing from those tornadoes?
Yeah, so I'm standing right here where 2 trailer homes were flipped completely upside down and demolished. I'm going to step out so you can see a trailer home was right here behind me, but then also to the opposite side of me. Those were 2 trailer homes, but now it kind of looks like a parking lot where just cars are sitting here now. 2 people did pass from this incident, a father and a daughter, but the family is currently out here right now looking for valuables to take with them to cherish for a lifetime. Now, we're unsure. We did try to speak with family earlier, but they did not want to be on camera due to this severe incident. However, we spoke to neighbors and they say it felt like several tornadoes were hitting their homes back and forth, swinging things around. But I spoke with Ray Garcia with the sheriff's office, and he told me that this was the only place that was damaged by those tornadoes. So it was very surprising for family, for neighbors, and even the sheriff's office to see the damage that happened and even these casualties. Now, we're still learning information about what's going on. Again, the family did not want to talk because of what they're still having to process with the father and the daughter. The mother is still in critical condition. We haven't had an update on that. The sheriff's office did tell us there were 2 younger people who were involved in this. However, they are said to be fine. As we learn more information, though, we will be sure to update you on air and online. Live in Fayette County, I'm Alicia Renee.
We are certainly hoping the mother pulls through there. All right, let's take a look at the roads. This is on I-40 at the flyover right now. Again, just lots of cloudiness, lots of slick roads out there. Underpasses, we know, do collect a lot of water. So just be careful. Take some extra time if you are headed out on the roads. There is traffic, a little, decent amount of it out there. So people are getting to where they need to. Clearly, a lot of people have to be out on the roads today. If you don't, it's best to stay indoors because it is still very wet and slick out there. Just wouldn't want to be caught up if you don't have to be. And we're going to take a look at the outage map now. Right now, MLGW is reporting a number of outages, mainly in the southern part of Shelby County and around Midtown. Now, as of right now, there are about 270, just under 280 outages, but it's affecting about 4,000 customers. And as you can see, again, just that South Memphis area seems to have most of those orange boxes, which means they're getting the most impacted. But overall, this is about far less than what we were seeing yesterday. I mean, I saw it get all the way up to 7,700 customers affected. It's been kind of steady and at bay with between 4,000 and 7,700. But you can check this out on the outage map on the MLGW website for real uptime updated reports. All right, so let's check out some weather photos that you all have been sending us. I want to send a reminder that we are on Facebook, and we have a Facebook page for our Weather Watchers app. Please send us any storm damage if you can safely. This is from Stephen Crissell in West Tipton County. That looks like a storm wall and a tornado forming. I would like to bring Kit in because that is all an assumption, and Kit is the expert here and can tell us a little more about what we're seeing.
Yeah, so this appears to be sort of a shelf cloud. It's difficult to tell if it's a rotating wall cloud. This is, of course, you can see the heavy rain coming down right there behind the power pole. You can see the rain coming down there, so that would be the rain shaft. And then that tail you see sort of on the middle right part of your screen, that's sort of the inflow into the storm. It's difficult to tell from a still image if it's rotating or not, so can't really confirm if that's a wall cloud or not. But this was in West Tipton County, and of course we did have many images like this over the last couple of days.
We had a lot of people, too, from Tipton County that were engaging our Facebook comment section. So thank you all so much for watching us and just keeping just being updated with us. And Trevor and Kit, I always have to just give you the utmost kudos because you guys have really been working so hard to keep people informed. We're going to go to another one. Here's another one from Lori Knoll from Millington. That's southwest Tipton County line. I remember Lori was also on the Facebook comments asking about Tipton County, particularly today. This is another large funnel cloud. And we called the Tipton County Sheriff's Office this morning. Dispatch did confirm that everyone is safe. Now, there's only one main road that is closed, which is Lucadoo Road, because of debris. But wow, just insane footage, insane videos there, or footage, photo there of just how the magnitude of all of what everybody's seeing across the Mid-South. Now, right now, Arkansas, Tennessee, and Mississippi governors did declare a state of emergency. There are many shelters open in Tennessee, Mississippi, and Arkansas, and they will be open as long as shelter-in-place orders are in effect. You can text the word shelter to 901-321-7520 to get a link to where all the shelter locations are. Now, if your community has a storm shelter not listed, just send us an email at weather@abc24.com. Well, Kit, we do have the Facebook app Weather Watchers page. So again, I just want to tell people to please go there and send us your photos if you can. That gives us a real image of what you all are experiencing out there. But I'm going to toss it back to Kit with an update on what he's seeing on the radar.
Yeah, thank you, Pepper. Of course, information on your screen there, important to know. Never drive through flooded roadways. The 6 inches can sweep you off your feet and even move a light car. Looking at Holly Springs right now, you are starting to see some heavy rainfall moving in. It looks like hail is beginning to form right there in the corner of that storm. That's where we're seeing some of the heaviest rainfall and potential for hail to be coming down. So we're going to keep an eye on some of these severe thunderstorms. Once again, we've got a severe thunderstorm warning. This is around the Abbeville area up to around Holly Springs. I'll move that out of the way so we can see that. Of course, this is parts of Benton County, Lafayette County, Marshall, and just the corner of Tippah County here as well. It's moving to the northeast around 50 miles per hour with the potential for 60-mile-per-hour winds and 1-inch diameter hail. As we see that latest scan, that purple dot is going away a little bit there. Selmer is under a severe thunderstorm warning as well this evening. This is across parts of McNairy County until 4:45, so another 15 minutes as this storm brings 60-mile-per-hour winds and 1-inch hail potential out of our viewing area. So that's the final check of weather. Of course, we're going to be right here at ABC 24 for the next several hours this afternoon as this severe weather event begins to unfold. We've got a continued threat across the area that we're going to be keeping eyes very closely on. Pepper?
All right, Kit, thank you. And viewers, as part of our efforts to keep you updated on air and online, you can continue watching our 24+ streaming app on your TV. You can watch it for free. Remember, the 24+ streaming app is where you'll have up-to-the-minute severe weather updates as we work to keep you and your family safe. Thank you for tuning in. We will keep you updated as we continue covering severe weather coverage here on ABC 24.